about meat. If many of you follow me, you recall where I came and I mentioned that there was an issue with meat and that it was not good to eat the meat. So I stopped eating meat. Recently, I tweaked and made some changes. Let me back up. Let me back up. I'm getting ahead of myself. The entire time I was not eating meat, God was dealing with me. It was almost as if I wasn't settled in my spirit with what was given to me, and there had to be answers. There had to be something to this. And so, if anybody knows me, I'm very curious, and so I wanted to know what was going on. So I did a little reading and did a little research, and even when I would go in the stores to shop, I would always go over to the meat section, regardless as to what store I would go in. So recently, I went into the store, and many of you are familiar with this, grass-fed meat. So I purchased the least expensive grass-fed meat, which is ground beef. I brought the ground beef home. When I got the ground beef home, I cooked it. The first time I cooked it, I wasn't really able to eat it. It was too dry. It was almost as if I had overcooked it, but I didn't cook it any different than I would cook regular ground beef. Okay? So I cooked it again, I lowered the temperature, and I didn't cook it as long. So when I began to chew the ground beef, there was a different texture. It was a different taste. So I said, okay, what is the deal? Like, what's going on? Now, some of y'all know about the grass fed and you've done the research and you know so forth and so on. So just sit tight and just listen. This is for the other people who do not know. I've done the research, I've done the homework, I've done everything, and so I'm here to share to help you. The ground beef is totally different. So then I moved from the ground beef and then I went to the steak. The steaks are totally different, okay? So here's what I want to help you with. For those of you who are torn and saying, I really cannot afford this grass-fed meat, but at the same time, I know that this regular meat is not good for me, and I don't know what I'm going to do because I can't afford it. Here's the deal. You can. Here's why. The regular meat that we typically eat that has been tampered with is less expensive, and we eat too much of it. We're not eating the amount that we should be eating. It should be smaller amounts. If you eat the correct amount of meat that you're supposed to eat, you can eat the grass fed and it'll be a balance there. It'll kind of offset itself because you're not buying large quantities of the meat that you're not supposed to have. You're buying the quantity size that you're supposed to have as far as grass fed is concerned. Now, here's a disclaimer. For any of you who have digestive issues and you've had a health care provider to tell you not to eat meat, this video is not intended to try and persuade you to go against what your health care provider has told you to do, okay? For the people who were looking for an alternative and you perhaps were like me and was thinking that it was all meat, you can now get excited because it's not all meat. It's the less expensive meat because there's more of an impact because more people are going to purchase that meat, okay? This is the ground beef, grass fed that I spoke of in the video. I just want to give you guys a visual of what I was speaking of. You can get it in 80, 85, and 95%. Again, this is just a visual so you can see what I was speaking of when I stated grass fed beef. This next picture is a picture of steaks. Now, you can get different types of steak. I just simply grabbed this one to kind of show you guys that this is a grass-fed steak, and on the opposite side is just your regular steak. Again, just a visual so you can get an idea of what it is I'm speaking of. Now, I did not disclose to you guys in the video that I was going to show this. The reason why I did this experiment is because a lot of people feel like they need meat in order to get their protein, but you can actually get your protein from eggs as well. Now, this egg that I'm currently cracking is from a regular brand of eggs on a less expensive scale. It's going to be the cheapest eggs that you're going to purchase. You see, I'm making notice to the inside, that's the skin. Well, I'm going to show you with this piece right here. It's like a little bubble that I just poked. I poked it and it popped as soon as I poked it. If you missed it, you can rewind it and look at it. Okay, so, and I'm showing you that part as well. Again, that's the less expensive eggs that we kind of grab because it's, you know, the least expensive. But a lot of us are being more health conscious and want to do better as it pertains to our health. And what we've recently done is we've scaled back on some things that we don't need to make certain that we purchase the things that are beneficial to our health. You see me pulling that skin off? So again, that's the less expensive eggs. The next set of eggs that I'm about to experiment with, that's not the brand of those eggs. These eggs, as you can see, are different colors. These eggs were gifted to me. I did not disclose the person's name because everybody will be calling these persons for eggs, and I don't think that's fair. So I thank God for being special and being gifted these eggs. Look at this. You see the skin of that one? You see how much bigger that is than the one I just showed you? Look how big that is. That's all skin. Okay? Applying the same amount of pressure that I did with the other one. Look, I'm even pulling it. It still is there. Nothing happened to it. And this is how it looks in comparison to the other one. It's the yolk is a little darker. Now this pasture raised Vital Forms egg that I'm about to crack and show you guys. This is the one, according to research, not my research, but their research, when you look online, that is a real egg. Okay, so we're doing the test, so we're about to see if it's worth it. This is the egg. Now, you see, it is in there. I think it's a fairly large size. Again, rewind this once I'm done, and you can do a closer comparison and make it bigger. I apologize that for whatever reason I got out of the camera, and now I'm bringing it back. There it is. You see that? That's how the yolk looks. It's closer to the color of the eggs from the yard, from the chickens in the yard. Is closer. This right here is the less expensive brand egg. That's not, I hate to say it, but you know, no, it's not there. So, and the only thing I'm doing is just going back. This egg right here, again, is the Vital brand egg. This is the egg that if you don't have any chickens and you can't get anyone to sell you their eggs from the yard, this is probably going to be your closer bet right here. You see that? So it does matter. Of course, we can do research and they can tell us, but it's nothing like doing it ourselves. Now look at this one here. Now this one here is very impressive. Y'all see, I did all of that and it's still, that's the one from the yard. The one from the yard is the real deal. Anybody who has chickens from the yard, you can sell those eggs for whatever amount you want to people who care about their health. Now, if somebody doesn't care about their health, they're not going to pay you. But it is a difference in the eggs. This brand that I'm showing you here, I did not experiment on that one because I had used all of the eggs, so I couldn't show you. But I do have it on another short clipping, and I'll show it at a later time. Thanks for watching. I pray that the information that I've provided will be beneficial for you. Thanks to everyone who have subscribed to my channel thus far. If you have not subscribed, please do so. Thank you guys.